Hi everyone, my name is Tom Gilmour and I am the community manager for SeLion. I have with me Doug Simmons, who is the project lead. So Doug, today we're going to talk about using SeLion in the real world.
Yeah.
It's been my experience that a lot of companies will build their own proprietary technologies that can't be shared outside of the open source community.
Okay.
How does a technology like SeLion how is a technology like SeLion able to work alongside a proprietary solution?
Sure. Yeah, it's definitely true. You know, a lot of times, companies have their own needs, and and even in more cases, you see a lot of companies that are borrowing from open source, and they tend to build on top. Sometimes meaning they're forking the open source and adding their own stuff and keeping it in house. Sometimes they opt to not use the open source at all and build their own thing completely or whatever. But, to answer your question more pointedly, one of the sort of architectural design goals that we've had with SeLion from the onset was to build with extensibility in mind. And in doing so, we wanted to give the opportunity for people to hook in and to provide for their own potential proprietary considerations on top of what SeLion has put out, is out there for SeLion in the open source space. So for an example that I'll give you where we're doing that today, we talked earlier in another session about the runtime reporter. Okay, well, as I mentioned, the runtime reporter is essentially a report that you get while the tests are running. And out of the box, if you were to go use SeLion as it exists in the open source space, what you get with that is some very basic metadata that comes along with each test that's running. It's things like what time did the test start, what time did the test complete, did it pass, did it fail, and not much else. If you wanted to also include as part of, let's say your company and you're building a product and the tests that you're writing are testing that product, if you wanted your report to include additional information such as what is the build of the product that I'm testing, and who kicked off the test, whatever, right? There's an opportunity in SeLion today for you to include that additional metadata, both for the test run and for at the suite level, as well as for at the individual test level, by simply making some Java calls. There's additional places you can plug into SeLion in the name, again, of being extensible. For example, I'll give you one more example. We also talked earlier about code generation, how SeLion supports code generation. The way it does that is through a Maven plugin, and ultimately what that Maven plugin is doing is it's building page objects, and in those page objects there's methods for accessing, modifying, selecting, inputting to the various elements on a page or on a screen. And the elements that you're using in this case are types that ship with SeLion. That said, if you have a special element that you needed to make a consideration for, maybe it has some unique characteristics about it, it's a swipe and a tap or something, I don't know. You can build that custom element and have the code generator take it into consideration when it's generating code. Again, this is an example of where we feel people would have this need, so we built something that's extensible to meet that need.
All right, well, thank you, Doug.
Yeah, no problem, thank you.
And for more information, you can go to the SeLion website, which is selion.io, for more information.